On January 16th of 1919, the states of North Carolina, Nebraska, Missouri, Wyoming, and Utah joined 33 other states by voting to ratify the 18th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which reads in full, "After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within, the importation thereof into, or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territories subject to the jurisdiction thereof, for beverage purposes, is hereby prohibited. The Congress and the several states shall have concurrent power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of the several states, as provided in the Constitution, within 7 years from the date of the submission hereof to the states by the Congress." The enactment of the measure was the result of the temperance movement in the United States, which sought to restrict the consumption of alcohol and marked the first time that a constitutional amendment included a ratification deadline, in this case 7 years from the date that Congress submitted the proposal to the states, a practice upheld by the Supreme Court 2 years later in Dillon v. Gloss. The Supreme Court additionally ruled in Coleman v. Miller, 1939, that if Congress does not include a ratification deadline in an amendment, then the proposal remains pending before the states indefinitely and can be ratified at any time. Of the 48 states in the Union at the time, only Connecticut and Rhode Island rejected the 18th Amendment, and 9 months after the measure was ratified, Congress passed the National Prohibition Act, otherwise known as the Volstead Act, named after Chairman of the House Committee on the Judiciary Andrew Volstead. That act was vetoed by President Woodrow Wilson, whose veto was overridden by the House of Representatives and the Senate, after which the Volstead Act established that no person manufacture, sell, barter, transport, import, export, deliver, furnish, or possess any intoxicating liquor with more than 0.5% alcohol by volume. Far from reducing the consumption of alcohol, Prohibition provided the ideal circumstances for organized crime to flourish, including the brutal year-long Castellamarese War between Cosa Nostra bosses Giuseppe Mazzari and Salvatore Maranzano, and murder rates rose nationwide by 42.5%. 13 years later, the Volstead Act and the 18th Amendment were both repealed when Congress passed the Blaine Act, named after Wisconsin Senator John J. Blaine, and the 21st Amendment was ratified in December of 1933.